Now, ESPN 106.3 and News Channel 5 present Football Night in South Florida.
Welcome to Football Night in South Florida, everyone. I'm Paxton Boyd from ESPN 106.3. Postseason football is upon us here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. 17 teams from our area still have their state title hopes intact, and the journey begins for most of them tonight as it's now win or go home. Now, number one, Vero Beach welcoming in the red-hot Boca Raton Bobcats. Boca making the postseason despite a boatload of transfers. Vero on the move in the first quarter. Ryan Jankowski to Jermaine Dawson for the short touchdown pass, and the Fighting Indians up 7-0 early. Now on to the second quarter. Vero now up 14-0, and it's deja vu all over again. Jankowski to Dawson again. Vero dominating Boca at this point, 21-0. Now we're staying in the second quarter now. It's 28-0 Fighting Indians at this point. And it's the senior duo yet again. Jankowski to Dawson, though Dawson would have to do a little more work this time. Jukes, the defender, just makes it into the end zone to make it 35-0 Vero. And then at the end of the first half, Boca trying to move down the field, but Emmanuel Thorpe has other ideas. Prevents that from happening with the interception. Vero Beach goes on to win this one big, 42-7. So who will Vero Beach be facing next week? We head to Santa Lucia's for the answer to that question. The Chiefs hosting a playoff game for the first time since 2009, but number 5 Treasure Coast looking to play spoiler. They were off and running early, opening possession. That's Joey flew just from 5 yards out. The 2-point conversion no good at 6-0 Treasure Coast. Now later in the quarter, Jonius Watkins gets the ball. This time he bounces off the defenders, flips into the end zone, and it's 13-0 Treasure Coast. Now on to the second quarter. Watkins at it yet again. He goes untouched, and 90 yards later, he's in the end zone to make it 26-0. Treasure Coast wins this one big, 40-0. They shut out Santa Lucia's and set up a rematch against Vero Beach next week. Well, in what was supposed to be one of the marquee games of the regular season, Benjamin and Cardinal Newman meeting tonight in the postseason. Second quarter, Benjamin in the lead, their defense making a play in the rain. Quarterback Austin Wallace fumbles. That's Luke Canada pouncing on the loose ball. And then on the ensuing possession, Santino Marucci showing off that arm. The big-time quarterback for the Bucks. He hooks up with Isaiah Nesmith for the 40-yard gain down the sideline. Now later in the drive, this time Marucci finding one of his favorite targets. That's tight end Tommy Rooney for 6. That makes it 26-10 Benjamin. They go on the road and they go home with a 33-16 win. All right, we're just getting started here on Football Night in South Florida. But when we come back, Palm Beach Lakes, they get off to a slow start and face an early playoff exit. Could they avoid the upset? The highlights coming up next.
Now, ESPN 106.3 and News Channel 5 present Football Night in South Florida.
Welcome back to Football Night in South Florida, everyone. I'm Paxton Boyd from ESPN 106.3. The Palm Beach Central Broncos came on strong in the second half of the season. Tonight, they look to keep things rolling in the postseason. Let's head out to Wellington for another top 10 playoff matchup. Number 8 Centennial paying number 4 Palm Beach Central a visit. Centennial on the board first with a catch from DeTwan Blackwood. He finds the end zone with this long touchdown catch to make it 7-0 Eagles early. Now Palm Beach Central responds on their next possession with this 58-yard catch and run by Brian Robinson, his first of 3 first-half touchdowns. Robinson with 5 touchdowns overall on the night. Young man had himself a day. Extra point no good. It's 7-6 Centennial at that point. Now later in the second quarter, Palm Beach Central defense makes a play. Cedric Williams scooping up the fumble, taking it to the house. That makes it 27-11. But Palm Beach Central holds on for the victory, 49-42, your final score there. Number 2, Palm Beach Lakes secured an unbeaten regular season last week. Tonight they look to carry that success into the postseason. The Rams welcoming in Eastlake out of Tampa. The Rams tested early. Matt Trotto deep down the sideline to Hunter Turbas. Ruled just short of the goal line, but just one play later, Trotto keeps it on the QB keeper and finds himself into the end zone. The Eagles on the board in less than 2 minutes. It's 7-0 Eastlake. Now later in the first quarter, Trotto down the sideline to Rayshon Williams, and Williams laying out for the diving grab, comes down with that ball deep in Rams territory. That would lead to another field goal. It's 10-0 Eastlake. Now to the second quarter, the Eagles on the attack yet again. It's Trotto on the run. He finds Elijah Wolf near the sideline. He breaks loose with nothing but green grass in front of him. It's 17-0 Eastlake. The Rams finally get on the board before the half. Antonio Outler finds the end zone from a few yards out to cut the halftime deficit to 10, 17-10. And the Palm Beach Lakes Rams, they complete the comeback. They win this one 32-27. Other scores from our area: number 3 Atlantic, after a disappointing postseason a year ago, they open up on the postseason against Blanche Ely. They win that one 47-12. St. Andrew Scots, they make the postseason for the first time in 45 years, but their season comes to an end tonight. They fall 54-7. We head to Jensen. They survive. They would need overtime, but they take down Miami Killian 6-3. And Fort Pierce Westwood, under first-year head coach Jeff George, they play Charlotte. However, they are heading home tonight after a 20-7 loss. Seminole Ridge and Palm Beach Gardens also saw their seasons come to an end tonight.